Ethan? My voice trembles as I step into his apartment. The lights are low, the air heavy. You said you were sick. Why is the door unlocked? A faint laugh comes from the bedroom. A woman's laugh. My stomach twists. No, I whisper, moving closer. My hands shake as I push the door open and the world stops. Claire, my best friend. Her hair's a mess. His shirt's on the floor. Ethan freezes when he sees me. Leela, wait, don't. I snap, my voice breaking. Don't you dare say my name. Claire scrambles for a sheet, eyes wide. It's not what you think, I laugh. It sounds hollow, bitter. Not what I think. You're in his bed, Claire. Tell me. How else am I supposed to take this? Ethan runs a hand through his hair, looking guilty. It just happened. We didn't mean to. My throat burns. You've been lying to me for weeks. God, I thought you loved me. I did. He says quietly. I do. But things changed. My voice rises. When you started sleeping with my best friend. Claire flinches. Leela, please, don't yell. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why did you? My chest feels tight. You could have had anyone, Claire. Why him? Her eyes glisten. Because you had everything, Leela. The perfect job, the perfect guy, the life I never could. So you took it from me, I whisper. Because you were jealous? Ethan steps closer. Stop. Don't turn this into drama. It was a mistake, okay? I didn't want you to find out like this. I stare at him, numb. You didn't want me to find out? How generous of you. Leela, he sighs. I care about you. But Claire and I, there's a connection. A connection? I repeat, laughing weakly. You mean lust? He frowns. You don't understand. No, I snap. I understand perfectly. You wanted someone easier. Someone who wouldn't call you out when you lied. Silence fills the room. I can hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I look at Claire, my friend since childhood, and all I see is betrayal. You were supposed to be my sister, I whisper. How long? She hesitates. A month. I let out a shaky breath. A month. So every time you smiled at me, every time you said you loved me, you were lying. Tears roll down her cheeks. I'm sorry. No, you're not, I say softly. You're just caught. Ethan grabs his shirt. Leela, let's talk when you've calmed down. Calm down? I choke out a laugh. You destroyed everything, and you want me to be calm? He glares. You're being dramatic. Something inside me snaps. Dramatic? You cheat on me with my best friend, and I'm dramatic? Claire sobs quietly, and I suddenly feel empty. The anger drains out, leaving nothing but exhaustion. I can't even hate you, I whisper. You're not worth the effort. I walk toward the door, each step heavier than the last. Ethan follows. Where are you going? Away, I say. Far enough that I'll forget your face. Leela, wait, I turn to him one last time. You'll regret this. Maybe not today, but one day you'll wish you hadn't thrown me away. He says nothing. I walk out into the cold night air. The wind stings my cheeks, mixing with my tears. My phone buzzes Claire's name. I block her. Then Ethan's. Blocked. I look up at the dark sky. My mother's voice echoes in my mind. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. I finally do. And tonight, I believe them completely. Leela, get up, Sophie says, pulling the curtains open. Light floods the room like a slap. You've been in bed for 3 days. 4, I mumble into my pillow. Not that it matters, she sighs. It matters. You stink. And your laptop's covered in tissues. I'm mourning my stupidity, I whisper. Give me another day. No, she yanks the blanket off. You can't rot over some jerk who couldn't keep his pants on. Don't call him that, I say softly, though the word feels right. It still hurts. She sits beside me. Of course it hurts. But letting him see you broken? That's exactly what he wants. I stare at the wall. He already saw me broken. That night, I fell apart. Sophie's voice softens. And now you get to rebuild. I don't want to rebuild, I say. I want to disappear. Not happening. She throws a hoodie at me. Shower, eat something. Then we'll talk about deleting him. I laugh weakly. Delete him? Like I could erase 2 years with a button. You could try, she says. Start small. Unfollow. Block. Pretend he's a bad dream. I grab my phone. He posted again. My thumb trembles. It's them. At our calf. Sophie frowns. He's doing it on purpose. He knows I'll see it. I whisper. That's what hurts most. He wants me to know he's happy. She crosses her arms. You really think he's happy? Look at him, he's forcing a smile. He's just showing off because he's guilty. I want to believe her, but my chest aches. I keep wondering what I did wrong. You love the wrong person, she says simply. That's it. Her words sting because they're true. I hate that I still miss him. That's normal, she says. You loved him, not the lie he became. I scroll through my gallery photos of us laughing, holding hands, kissing under neon lights. I can't look at these anymore. I whisper, then don't. Sophie takes the phone gently. Say goodbye. I hesitate. He'll never care. Maybe not, she says. But this isn't for him, it's for you. One by one, I delete the pictures. Each click feels like cutting a thread between us. It's like erasing proof that I mattered. I say, you still matter, Sophie replies. You just forgot. I put the phone down and breathe for what feels like the first time in days. Why does moving on feel like losing? Because you wanted forever, she says quietly, and forever ended. Silence hangs between us. Then I ask, what if I never feel normal again? She smiles faintly. You will, but you'll be a different kind of normal. Stronger, colder maybe, but wiser. I close my eyes. I don't want to be cold. You won't be, she says. You'll be careful. I finally sit up. My voice cracks, but I manage. Okay, I'll try. That's my girl, she says, patting my back. Now get up before I drag you to the shower. Despite everything, I laugh. It's weak, but real. Fine, but only because you're terrifying. Good, Sophie says, grinning. Fear is the first step to recovery. Write it out, Sophie says, handing me a pen. Everything you want to scream at him, put it on paper. I stare at the blank page. What's the point? He won't care. It's not for him, she replies. It's for you. I look at the paper again, the lines blurring from tears I refuse to shed. Fine, I whisper, but if I start, I might not stop. Good, Sophie says. You've been holding it in too long. I start writing. Ethan, my hand trembles. Where do I even begin? I murmur. Sophie leans on the doorway. Start with the truth. The truth? I scoff. The truth is I hate him. I hate how he made me love him first. Then write that, she says simply. So I do. You broke me, Ethan. You didn't just cheat, you killed the part of me that trusted. I pause, the words stabbing me as I write them. Why does this feel like bleeding? Because it is, Sophie says quietly. You looked me in the eye and swore I was your everything. Was that a lie too? I scribble faster. Did you laugh when I cried that night? Did you hold her and think of me? I slam the pen down. I sound pathetic. No, Sophie says, walking over. You sound human. I breathe shakily. I don't want to sound human. I want to sound like I don't care. Then keep writing until you don't, so I keep going. I hope you remember the sound of my voice when I said I loved you, because you'll never hear it again. I hope the guilt keeps you awake the way your betrayal keeps me awake now. My tears hit the paper, blurring ink into messy shapes. I whisper, why wasn't I enough? You were, Sophie says firmly. He just wanted less. The words sink into me like medicine and poison at once. Less. That's what I became to him. Not anymore, she says. You're done being small for someone else? I nod slowly, returning to the letter. You'll look for me someday, Ethan. You'll search my name, see my face, and realize what you lost. But by then, I'll be gone, better, stronger, free. When I finish, the page is filled edge to edge, ink smudged with pain. I think I'm done, I whisper. Sophie glances at the page. You gonna send it? I shake my head. No, he doesn't deserve my words. What'll you do with it? I stare at the letter for a long time. Let it go. I fold it once, then tear it down the middle. Each rip feels like a breath I'd been holding too long. The pieces fall to the floor like ashes. This is the last time I cry for him, Sophie nods. Good. Now, what do you want to do next? I take a deep breath. Live, even if it hurts. She smiles faintly. That's the spirit. I look at the torn paper, the ink bleeding into fragments. For the first time in weeks, my chest feels lighter. The letter is gone, but I'm still here, and that's enough for now. Welcome aboard, Leela, Daniel says, his voice calm but firm. We move fast here. Think you can handle that? I straighten my blazer. After the year I've had, I can handle anything. He raises an eyebrow. Good answer. That's the first time I see him smile, brief, quiet, confident. Something about it steadies me. Weeks pass in a blur of deadlines and coffee cups. I bury myself in work, chasing purpose like oxygen. Every late night feels like stitching my soul back together. Leela, you okay? Sophie calls one evening when I get home late. Just tired, I mumble, kicking off my shoes. But in a good way. She grins. Look at you. All corporate and thriving. Don't tell me the boss is cute too. I roll my eyes. He's professional. Uh-huh, she says, smirking. That means yes. I throw a pillow at her. Stop reading my life like a soap opera. Hey, I'm just saying. You could use some drama that doesn't end with tears. Work is enough drama, I reply, though part of me smiles for real. The next morning, Daniel stops by my desk. You did well on the Harper account, he says. Thank you, I reply. I didn't think they'd go for my pitch. They didn't, he says simply. You made them. That's a skill. His words linger in my mind all day. When I finally leave the office, I catch my reflection in the glass door. I look different, still me, but sharper, stronger. Later that night, I scroll through my phone out of habit. My heart stutters when I see a new follower. Request Ethan. Sophie's voice echoes from the kitchen. Everything okay? I stare at the screen. He followed me. She appears in the doorway, holding a cup of tea. Block him. I could, I say, but I want him to see me, to see I'm not broken anymore. She studies me for a second, then let him look. Just don't look back. The next day, Daniel finds me in the break room. You're distracted, he says. I hesitate. Someone from my past decided to show up. He nods slowly. And you're letting them take up space in your head? I guess I am, I admit. He leans against the counter. People like that feed on reactions. The moment you stop giving them any, they disappear. I meet his eyes. You sound like you've been there. Maybe I have, he says quietly. But the difference is, I stopped caring who was watching. His words sink deep. Easier said than done. Everything is, he replies. Doesn't mean it's not worth trying. That night, I look at myself in the mirror. The woman staring back isn't the one Ethan broke. She's taller somehow, eyes sharper, smile steadier. I whisper, you made it. My phone buzzes another notification from Ethan's profile. I let it sit there untouched. Sophie peeks into the room. You're not answering him, are you? I shake my head. No, he doesn't exist to me anymore. She smiles. There's my girl. As I turn off the light, I catch one last glimpse of my reflection. For the first time, I recognize her, the woman I was always meant to become, and she doesn't look back. The ballroom hums with chatter and clinking glasses. I swirl the wine in my glass, pretending to listen as co-workers laugh nearby. The company's anniversary gala loud, elegant, and exhausting. Daniel walks up beside me. You look like you'd rather be anywhere else. I smirk. How'd you guess? You're holding that drink like a shield. Maybe I am. He nods toward the crowd. At least you blend in better than I do. Everyone's too busy networking to notice I hate parties. I laugh quietly. That makes two of us. Try to survive until dessert, he says, half smiling. I'm about to respond when a familiar voice freezes the air around me. Leela? My heart stutters. I turn and there he is. Ethan, polished suit, same crooked smile, same eyes that once made me forget everything else. For a second, I forget to breathe. Ethan, I manage, my voice steady but cold. Didn't expect to see you here. Wow, you look different? Alive? I ask flatly. He swallows. Better. I didn't know you worked with Rivera and Co. I didn't know you were desperate enough to join our client's team. I say before I can stop myself. He flinches, but recovers quickly. I'm here for business, not the past. Good, I say. Because the past isn't invited. Daniel glances between us. Everything all right? Perfect. I say smoothly. Ethan was just leaving. Ethan forces a smile. You've changed. Thank you. I reply. That was the goal. As he walks away, I realize my hands aren't shaking. My pulse is calm. For once, he doesn't have power over me. Daniel studies me for a moment. Old friend? Old mistake, I say, taking a sip. He chuckles softly. Those are the worst kind. Later that night, I step outside for air. The city lights blur against the glass buildings, and I finally exhale. My phone buzzes a message from Ethan. Can we talk? Please. I stare at it for a full minute before locking my phone. Not this time. Daniel's voice comes from behind me. You handled that well. I smile faintly. I'm still shaking inside. That's normal, he says. Closure isn't peace. It's just the moment you stop chasing answers. I lean against the railing. He wanted to talk. A year ago, I'd have said yes. And now, I don't owe him anything. Daniel nods approvingly. You don't owe anyone your pain, Leela? Not even the ones who caused it. His words hit deep. I look up at him. You really believe that? I learned it the hard way, he says. Someone once told me forgiveness is freedom, but sometimes silence works better. I smile slightly. Silence feels powerful tonight. It suits you, he says, eyes soft. I look at the city lights again, their reflections shimmering like distant fire. He looked surprised to see me happy. Daniel chuckles. People like him always are. They expect you to stay broken. I whisper, not anymore. As we head back inside, I catch a glimpse of Ethan watching from across the room alone, lost, smaller somehow. I don't feel pity, just peace. Daniel leans closer. Ready to go? More than ready, I say, for the first time. I walk away without looking back. Did you hear what he said? Sophie's voice is sharp as she storms into my apartment. I close my laptop. Who? Ethan. He's been running his mouth all week. Says you used him to climb the corporate ladder. I blink. He said what? Yeah, apparently. You dated up, whatever that means. And people at your company are talking. My stomach twists. Of course they are. Lies always travel faster than truth. Sophie crosses her arms. You're just going to let him say that? Yes. I say quietly. If I start defending myself, I look guilty. I'm not giving him the satisfaction. She frowns. You're way too calm for someone being publicly slandered. I'm not calm, I admit. I'm just tired. She sighs. You don't deserve this. No, I say, staring at the window. But maybe this is how karma starts, slow and quiet. The next day at work, whispers follow me like shadows. People glance away when I walk by. My inbox feels heavier than usual, filled with polite messages that sound too formal. A tea lunch. Daniel finds me on the terrace. You've been avoiding eye contact all morning, he says. I'm just busy. He studies me. Busy or hiding? Maybe both. He tilts his head. I heard some talk about your past. I freeze. What kind of talk? The kind that doesn't sound like you, he says. Someone's saying you used a man to get ahead. That true? I feel the air leave my lungs. No, I whisper, but I know who started it. Ethan? I nod. He's trying to make me look like the villain. It's his favorite trick. Daniel's expression hardens. You could report him. For what? Being pathetic? I force a small laugh. No, let him rot in his own lies. He leans closer. Leela, your silence is strong, but sometimes it gives people power. I meet his eyes. And sometimes it's the only power I have. He studies me for a moment, then nods. Fair. Just don't let him make you doubt yourself. I already did that once, I say. Never again. Later that week, I step out of the office and almost collide with someone. Leela. The voice makes my skin crawl. Claire. She looks thinner, pale, her eyes red. Can we talk? I shake my head. No, Claire. We can't. Please, she says, grabbing my wrist. I didn't know he'd do this to you. I'm sorry. I pull away. You're sorry now because he's turned on you, not because of what you did. Her lip trembles. I just wanted to apologize. You already did, I interrupt. That night, when you said nothing as I walked out, that silence was your apology. Her tears fall, but I walk past her without looking back. That evening, I find myself staring at my reflection in the elevator mirror. My voice comes out small. What if it happens again? What if I lose everything? Daniel's words echo in my memory. You don't owe anyone your pain. I whisper, then I'll start over again. And this time, I mean it. Leela, Daniel says softly, leaning against my office door. Got a minute? My pulse jumps. Sure, I say, setting my laptop aside. What's up? He closes the door behind him. I need to ask you something. It's about the rumors. I look away. I figured. He steps closer, voice steady. People talk, but I prefer to hear the truth from you. My throat tightens. You think they might be true? I don't know what to think, he admits. But I want to understand. For a moment, I stare at my hands. The words sit heavy in my chest. He's my ex, Ethan. He's the one spreading them. Daniel's brow furrows. Why would he do that? Because he can, I say quietly. Because he hates that I'm doing better without him. He crosses his arms. So, he's trying to ruin your reputation. Yes, my voice cracks despite my best effort. And I keep pretending it doesn't matter. But it does. Every whisper feels like another bruise. Daniel takes a breath. You could have told me sooner. I didn't want pity, I whisper. Or worse, judgment. He sits across from me. You won't get either from me. I shake my head. You say that now. But if you knew what really happened, then tell me, he interrupts. All of it. I hesitate, then finally let the words spill. I loved him. Stupidly, completely. Until I found him with my best friend. Daniel's jaw tightens. That's cruel. I thought so too, I say, forcing a laugh. Now I just think it's pathetic. He broke me. I let him. And when I finally rebuilt myself, he came back with lies. He's silent for a moment. Then quietly, you didn't deserve any of that. I look at him, surprised. You believe me that easily? I don't need proof to recognize pain, he says. I've seen it before. Something in his tone makes me pause. Someone hurt you too, didn't they? He exhales slowly. Once, and I swore I'd never let it harden me. I lean back, studying him. Did it? He meets my eyes. Not completely. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The air between us feels fragile, charged. I try to look away, but his gaze holds me there, steady, patient. You're quiet, he says. I'm thinking, I murmur. About how scary it is to trust someone again. He nods. It is scary. But sometimes the right person doesn't ask you to trust them, they earn it. I smile faintly. You make it sound easy. It's not, he admits. But you're already doing the hard part, showing up. My heart beats faster than I want it to. I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. He gives a small smile. You don't have to name it yet. When he stands to leave, he hesitates by the door. Leela, don't let that man define your story. You're more than what he broke. I swallow hard. Thank you for not treating me like damaged goods. He smiles softly. You're not damaged. You're rebuilding. After he's gone, I sink into my chair, staring at the faint reflection on my screen. My heart aches, not from pain this time, but from something new. Something terrifying. I can't fall again, I whisper to myself. Not like before, but a quiet voice inside me asks, what if this time, you don't break? I'm locking my office door when I hear it, his voice. Leela, wait. The sound hits me like a ghost. I thought I'd buried. I turn slowly. Ethan stands in the hallway, eyes red, suit wrinkled, desperation clinging to him. What are you doing here? I ask, cold and steady. I needed to see you. You shouldn't be here, I say. We don't have anything left to talk about. He takes a shaky breath. Please, just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I hesitate, then sigh. Fine, 5 minutes. He runs a hand through his hair. Claire cheated on me. I blink once. And that's my problem because I deserved it, he says quickly. I hurt you. And now I know what it feels like. I finally understand what I did. I cross my arms. Congratulations. Karma works fast. He flinches. Don't do that, Leela. Don't act like you don't care. I don't, I say. Not anymore. He steps closer. You used to. You used to love me. I did, I admit. But that girl, the one who loved you, she died the night I walked in on you and Claire. His eyes glisten. I made a mistake. A horrible one. I thought I wanted something new, but it was empty without you. I laugh quietly. You didn't want something new, Ethan. You wanted to feel powerful. You thought breaking me would make you bigger. He shakes his head. No, I don't lie again. I cut in. You've done enough of that. His voice breaks. I've lost everything, Leela. Claire's gone. My job's a mess. And you and me? I ask. He looks up. You're doing great. I see it online. You look happy. I hate myself for ruining that. You didn't ruin me, I say softly. You just helped me find out who I was without you. He stares at me like he doesn't understand the language I'm speaking. I thought you'd hate me forever. I did. For a while. But hate keeps you tied to someone. He swallows. Then what do you feel now? I pause, letting the quiet stretch. Nothing. And that's freedom. His shoulders sag. I don't know how to live with what I did. That's not my burden, I say. You'll have to figure that out on your own. Tears spill down his face. Leela, I'm begging you. Please forgive me. I look at him, really look at him, and realize the ache is gone. The man who once had my heart now just feels like a stranger. I hope you find peace, Ethan, I say, my voice calm. Just not with me. He opens his mouth to speak, but I'm already walking away. As the door closes behind me, I exhale. No shaking hands, no tears, just quiet relief. For the first time, I don't feel broken. I feel free. Did you see this? Sophie bursts into my office, waving her phone like it's on fire. I glance up from my laptop. What now? It's Ethan, she says, dropping the phone on my desk. He got fired. I blink. Fired? Yep. His company found out about the affair with Claire. Turns out she was dating his boss too. I stare at the screen. A headline blares. Marketing director terminated amid workplace scandal. His name is right there. Sophie grins. Karma just knocked and kicked the door down. I exhale slowly. Wow. That's all you're gonna say? Wow. I expected fireworks. Maybe champagne. I shake my head. I don't feel like celebrating. Come on, Leela. He dragged your name through mud. He deserves this. Maybe, I say quietly. But I don't need revenge to feel okay. I already moved on. Sophie narrows her eyes. You're too zen for me. I'd have sent him flowers with a note that said, "Hope unemployment suits you." I laugh despite myself. You're evil. I'm realistic, she says. So what? No gloating. Not even a tiny smirk? I lean back in my chair. I thought I'd feel something. Satisfaction? Victory? But it just feels empty. Sophie studies me. Empty good or empty bad? Empty peaceful, I say. Like I finally don't care. She nods slowly. That's growth. I hate it, but it's growth. Later that day, Daniel knocks on my door. Busy? Just drowning in emails, I say. What's up? He steps inside, holding a cup of coffee. Heard about your ex. Rough headlines. I shrug. Life comes back around. Daniel places the coffee on my desk. You okay? I am, I say. Honestly, it's strange, but I don't feel angry. Just done. He smiles slightly. That's what peace feels like. Anticlimactic but solid. I chuckle. You always sound like a philosopher. Maybe I just know what it's like to wait for karma, he says, and realize it works best when you stop watching. His words settle in me. Yeah, I whisper. I didn't have to do anything. It handled itself. He leans against the wall. Exactly. The universe doesn't miss. That evening, I scroll through social media. The same people who once whispered about me now whisper about Ethan. Screenshots of his messages. Gossip threads full of mockery. Even pity. Sophie texts me. Justice served. How's it feel? I type back, like closure. When I put my phone down, I look at my reflection in the window. There's no trace of the trembling girl he once left behind. Just calm. Daniel's words echo softly in my head. The universe doesn't miss. I whisper to the glass. No, it doesn't. The city outside hums with noise, but inside me, there's only quiet. No hate. No ache. Just stillness. Karma didn't need my help. It never does. Got a minute? Daniel's voice pulls me from my thoughts. I glance up from my computer, surprised to see him hovering at my door. Sure, I say, saving my file. What's wrong? Nothing, he says softly. Actually, something. The way he says it makes my pulse quicken. That sounds serious. He steps inside, closing the door behind him. It is. I've been trying to figure out how to say this without making things awkward. I force a small smile. Awkward's kind of my specialty. Go ahead. He exhales. I like you, Leela. The room goes still. My hands freeze over the keyboard. You what? He smiles faintly. You heard me. I like you. Not just as a coworker or a friend. More than that. My heart stumbles. Daniel. Don't what? He asks gently. Don't tell you the truth? I stand, trying to catch my breath. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what loving me costs. He steps closer. I've seen your walls, Leela. I know why they're there. But I'm not asking you to tear them down overnight. You don't get it, I say, voice shaking. The last time I trusted someone, I lost myself. I know, he says quietly. But you're not that woman anymore. I laugh, nervous and sad all at once. You make it sound easy to believe again. It's not easy, he admits. It's terrifying, but so is living without trying. I look at him, really look at him. The steadiness in his eyes, the quiet warmth that never demanded anything from me. Why now? I whisper. Because I'm tired of pretending it's just friendship, he says. And because you deserve someone who means what they say. My throat tightens. I don't know if I can do this. He nods slowly. Then take your time. I'll wait, just don't shut me out completely. Silence fills the room, the kind that hums between fear and hope. Finally, I say, I need space to think. Take it, he says softly. I'll be here when you're ready. After he leaves, I sit in the dim office, heart pounding. His words echo inside me, stirring something fragile and unfamiliar. I whisper to the empty room, why does kindness scare me more than heartbreak? The elevator dings in the distance. The city outside glows against the night, alive and endless. I press a hand to my chest, my heart still racing but not from pain this time. That night, lying in bed, I stare at the ceiling. For the first time, I don't think about Ethan. I think about me, the pieces I've glued back together. The woman who survived. Revenge didn't heal me. Silence didn't either. But choosing myself that did. I whisper into the dark, I forgive you, Leela, for loving the wrong person. And for once, the storm inside me doesn't rage. It finally starts to calm.
The elevator doors open to a floor that smells like fresh paint and new beginnings. My office. My name on the glass wall. Lila Morgan, department head. Still feels strange seeing that, Sophie says, stepping in behind me. I laugh. Strange good or strange terrifying? Both, she says. Mostly terrifying. You're officially a boss now? Don't remind me, I reply, straightening a stack of folders. Half the team still looks at me like I'm a temporary storm. She smirks. You are a storm. Just one that builds things instead of destroying them. I grin. That might be the nicest threat anyone's ever given me. She glances at her phone. Speaking of storms, guess who just posted something pathetic online? I groan. Don't tell me. Too late. She holds out her phone. Ethan's name flashes across the screen with a caption. Some mistakes haunt forever. I exhale slowly. Let him haunt himself, she nods. You're seriously not going to reply? No, I say. He doesn't deserve even a thought, Sophie grins. You've really changed, you know. I had to, I say. It was either that or drown. Later after she leaves, I sit at my desk staring at the city skyline. My inbox dings, a message notification. Ethan, I still love you, my stomach doesn't twist this time. My pulse doesn't race. I just stare at the words, then click delete. No hesitation, no drama, just peace. A knock at my door breaks the silence. Daniel leans in, holding 2 coffee cups. You look serious. Should I come back when you're not conquering the world? I smile. You brought coffee. You can stay. He walks in and sets 1 cup in front of me. Double shot, just like you like it. You remembered. I remember the important things, he says. We sit for a moment, the quiet between us comfortable. Sunlight filters through the blinds, catching the edges of his hair, making everything feel softer. So, he says, new office, new title, same overachiever energy? Something like that, I reply, feels surreal. You earned it, he says. Every bit of it. I meet his eyes. You helped me more than you think, he chuckles. I just gave you caffeine and good advice. Exactly, I say. That's rare these days. He tilts his head. You seem lighter. I am, I admit. For a long time, I thought revenge would heal me. But it didn't. Letting go did. He smiles. That's what rebirth looks like. Less fire, more peace. I laugh softly. I never thought I'd reach this part. The quiet part. The quiet's where you grow, he says. And maybe where love starts again, too. I look at him, warmth rising in my chest. One day, I whisper. Maybe, he nods, no rush. The right things never need chasing. As we sip our coffee, sunlight spills across the desk. The city hums below, alive with noise and movement, but inside, I feel still. For years, I was defined by pain. Now I'm defined by peace. My story was never about revenge. It was always about rebirth, and finally I'm living it. The email came first, I miss you. Please, can we talk? Then the calls. Then the messages. Each one softer, sadder, more desperate. When I finally answered, his voice cracked. Lila, I'm sorry. I've lost everything. I took a slow breath. Ethan, you lost me long before that. I know, he said. But can we start over? I can change. You can, I replied. But that doesn't mean I'll be there to see it, he sighed. You're really done with me, aren't you? I was done the day I stopped needing you to apologize, I said. There was silence, heavy and final. Then a whisper, you sound different. I am, I told him. You broke me, and I rebuilt myself better. He tried to laugh, but it came out hollow. I keep seeing you everywhere. I can't forget you. That's your lesson, I said softly. Mine was learning how to let go. He didn't reply. Maybe he couldn't. I ended the call and sat for a long time, staring at my reflection in the dark window. Sophie texted a minute later. He called, didn't he? Yes, I typed. But it's over. For real this time, her reply came fast. Good, let him live with his ghosts. You've got sunlight now, I smiled. She was right. I didn't win by hurting him. I won by healing. Sometimes karma isn't loud. It doesn't crash or roar. It's quiet. Like me now. A woman who walks away smiling not because she forgot, but because she finally remembers her worth. And that's all the revenge I'll ever need.